Hello again, future friends. So, today I'm going to tell you that the word of the day is the sphere of influence. Now, there is a big distinction between the sphere of concern and the sphere of influence. Here's the thing. Your sphere of concern, like we talked about yesterday, is literally all of the things that you learn about, know, or hear about. That's very, very big in the world today, at least in my world today. Your sphere of influence is usually much, much smaller. That's the things that you yourself personally can directly have an impact on. Now, that may just mean immediate family, or that may mean family and close friends, or that may mean like your small town, or that might just mean like your city block. Whatever it means to you, it is that small circle, that smaller sphere inside of the very big sphere of all of the things that you hear about that you can then actually do something about. There are dozens of examples, but let's keep it simple for now. The other week, my family was working on painting a new house, and we had 3 or 4 different people volunteer to come help. They heard that we needed help, they were able and available, and they wanted to come do something for us. All of them very nice people. All of those things wonderful to be. That was something that once it entered their sphere of concern, they decided to put it in their sphere of influence. They were able to have a direct impact on that, and it made the work faster. It made the work go by more easily. That's great. And when you can do those sorts of things, then that's wonderful. It's not usually going to be world-shattering. It's not life-saving. It's not the biggest change in the world. It's the simple stuff. It's the little things. But if you do it regularly and you build up your sphere a little bit more so that you can have greater influence, wider impact, then that's good to do. Part of what does that is finding out what's in your sphere of influence and outside of your immediate sphere of concern. Now, when I say that, I don't mean don't pay attention to other things. I just mean make sure that you're also paying attention to this small thing. Find the things that are happening locally. Find the things that are happening close by. Find the things that are happening with your neighbors in your neighborhood, where things are having a direct impact, and how you can try to have a direct impact on those things. That varies wildly for a lot of people, and I know that. There's only so much you can do, and I know that too. Don't forget, the sphere of concern will always be bigger than the sphere of influence. But your sphere of influence can be built. It can grow. And as you work to be able to have greater influence, you can also work to make other concerns something that you have an influence on, something that you know about, something that you can have a direct beneficial impact on. Now, there are also going to be things that will never be part of your sphere of influence. I do not plan to run for politics in any form or fashion in my life, and so my influence, my impact on what does and doesn't pass the House in Congress in the United States for my country is pretty limited to whether or not I call the representatives and how many times I send them an email. It's not going to be something that I write the bills about. That's just not going to be part of my sphere of influence. But if I keep it in my sphere of concern, and I pay attention to it, and try to make sure to send them calls regularly to say, I don't like that decision. Hey, I really support this thing. I want you to make sure to vote for it, please. that's something that I can do. That's something that I can have a direct impact on. Whether or not they make that decision, that's up to the people in Washington. But especially when you get smaller and smaller and aim for the local level, those are folks that I could directly impact here in my community if I wanted to. And frankly, I kind of do want to. But the point is just this. I don't have influence in Miami, Florida. I'm a very long way away from there. I don't know anybody in Miami. I could work on finding that influence if I wanted to. But there are already people here that need me to do other things. So I need to work within the sphere of what I've got available to me. Now, please remember, be careful about burnout. We will cover that in some future video someday, which I'm sure by now you probably could watch potentially, because I have no idea when you're seeing this. Maybe, just maybe, by the time you're seeing this, there isn't a whole lot to be concerned about, and things have been taken care of. I would love to hope that. I don't think that that's super likely or probable, but as you grow your sphere of influence, perhaps we can all collectively take care of our relative spheres of concern. Because we're all sharing this little blue marble together, and it would be really nice if we could find peace. So, that's what I've got for you today. I hope that it is helpful and that you guys will go out and sort those things that are something you can have an impact on, and those things that are simply too big to take on by yourself. And when you find those things that are too big for you, remember to build your community, to build your network, to work with other people, because when one person's sphere of influence is too small, 15 people's spheres of influence might be enough to make a little bit of a shift. It doesn't take everyone to move the world, but it does take somebody, and you are somebody. Don't forget that. Anyway, good luck out there.